This is the MuRiDa Special Light and Love Warrior. Snow Judah Shield, Holy Shield. I'm gonna, like I said, this the Divine Collective said there's no longer need for the introduction. That lesson has is the former. Now we're in something different. Uh, uh, I'm just gonna show something secret. Well, it's not secret. Well, it is secret, but it's not gonna be secret anymore. Me and the Divine Collective, we have a special thing that we do. If anybody has watched it on Disney Plus, the Disney app, there's this show called Mandalorian. It's a Star Wars, um, it's a Star Wars thing, and then that's the only Star Wars thing that I'm allowed to watch because the Star people think it's Star Wars is too goofy, and they won't allow. The only thing they'll allow me to watch is Mandalorian, which I watched part of the recent episode and I couldn't watch it anymore because I thought I agreed it's kind of goofy. Um, but the Mandalorians have in some of the episodes they have a saying. The Mandalorians say this is the way. Well, I mean, me and the Divine Collective came up with something cool. I mean, well, it was not me, it was them, but they came up with something cool that we do. That's something we do. There's a thing that someday I don't I it's a long thing to talk about. It's a long thing to explain. But we have a saying called range. A range is just another word for frequency or vibration. Range is a lot. Range is it has a lot more meaning. Has better is a better description of vibration, frequency, and energy. No, it's something I it's I'm not allowed to talk about. But we have me and the Divine Collective have a thing called "This is the Range." What that basically means is you have to do you have to remember there's no such thing as old and new. That's an illusion. Old and new is an illusion. There's only the former and different. And you have to sometimes you have to go past the you have to switch from the former to the different in order to find the range. That is the range. The range is the right frequency, right vibration, right energy for um, what you're vibrating at, what your frequency is at, and just nothing's bad or evil. And that's an illusion too. Everything has to do with range and frequency, but what's right for that person's frequency, and we call it that is the range. Well, when the Divine Collective tell me that is the range, like the Mandalorian said, that is the way. That is a cue to know that I'm in the perfect range. And remember, your range always changes. So tomorrow you could learn something new. The environment could change. Everybody says the environment shapes who you are. The environment doesn't. The environment changes like 30% of who you are, but there's a lot more than that. There's programs, there's genetic codes. I mean, there's so much involved with creating your frequency and your vibration, and a lot of times you have to go from the former to the different. Remember, there's no such thing as old and new. Every that's old and new is an illusion. Everything's happening at once, and that's something that I'm not allowed to explain to you. But just try to understand me. The old and new is an illusion. Bad and evil is an illusion. There's only the former and different. And sometimes you have to go from the former to the different to find that is the range. Remember, like the Mandalorian said, that is the way. Us divine collectives say that is the range. That means you're at the right frequency, at the vibration for what is needed in that moment. Remember, it's always in the moment. Um, you have to try to avoid um, putting your put because every time you focus on a lot of times I can see the future. A lot of times the future is constantly changing. The future, this whole thing that you can predict the future is it's not as simple as that. The future changes. It could completely change in 30 seconds. It could change in 1 hour. The future is constantly changing. That's why I tell people certain things are not set in stone. You could even being aware of a possibility of a true happening. If you have the right, if you have the right memory and the right information, you have the right skills, you can change that possibility. Just so you know, just be, this whole thing that if you know the future, you can change it is a lie. There's a lot more to that than that. You need skills, you need abilities, you need a high you need a higher you need to be at a higher state to be able to have that much control over the future. A lot of, for instance, if you were to know the future, the possibility of if you being able to change the future, if you knew the future, being able to change it, um, would not even be a would be extremely difficult for you. Just understand this: the future that you see may not happen exactly the way that it happens, but it will direct to where. So, for instance, if you're supposed to meet somebody at the elevator at a you see somebody you meet at some elevator, maybe that doesn't maybe you try to avoid that elevator, but in another place, another time you will run into that person that situation will happen. That's why I say you need extreme skills. You need. I'm one of the few people that can change the future, and the future is not as simple and not as easy to change as people want to give you the illusion to think. The future is very hard to change. Remember, everything. There's so many things that are going on to create create a path. Remember, your whole life is on a path. You have you and that's the whole goal. That's what I try to teach you guys. The reason why I teach you all this powerful stuff, the reason why I try to empower you folks, is remember, if I give you power, I gain power, and this is how this works. When I give you power, you're able to go one step closer to having control over your life, to have more to have more freedom. And remember, freedom is power. This is how I became so powerful in in this system. It's because I have the most freedom. In order to have the most power, you need the most freedom. You need to be and just remember, fear is a lack of freedom. Medication is lack of freedom. This whole reality is based on fear. I mean, insurance is fear. Um, as A seatbelt is fear. Remember that there's so many things that are fear, that are things that take away from your freedom. I mean, this whole thing is there's so many. You will get the point. There's so many things in this reality that take away from the freedom. I mean, people say that you need a home security system. That is fear, and you know what fear is. Fear is a block, is an obstacle uh, to take away some of your freedom. And each one of these things that are in a reality takes away from your freedom a little bit more at a time. And my goal, my objective, is to give power back to you, to give you more abilities, to give you more freedom. In order for me to give you more freedom, in order, well, I shouldn't say me, we. I should always say we. It's for us Divine Collective, for us to give you more freedom, for us to empower you more. We have to release fears. We have to relieve blocks, obstacles in your ways, and and in order to really to for us Divine Collective to release fears and blocks and obstacles, is to take away the fear, take away the blocker, the obstacle. So always remember that. And just so you know, right now I'm dealing with a situation, and this is an important lesson. A lot of people in my reality, just so you know, I just in the past month, I've had a whole bunch of high lords and lords of the Grand Central Sun, which are the highest elders and all the unit. They said the divine creators, brothers and sisters. They did a lot of psychic surgery on me. They did a lot of upgrades on me. They made me immune to everything. They made it so I don't need to sleep. They made it so that basically these pills that I'm taking, they could be sugar pills and they would still do the same thing. I mean, that should give you, even if these pills are sugar pills, that they would they would still have the same effect on me. It doesn't matter what the pills are; that they would have the same effect on me. And and right now in my reality, I'm being tested. I'm so many people in my reality are telling me that I need to rest. My back's gonna hurt. Staying up all the time is bad for you. And remember, these are illusions and these are tests. You know, it's important for you to use your resources to understand that that's not a reality. And also, a few extra, very extremely powerful extra dimensional beings upgraded me and changed my divine energy body. So I really I'm actually without the pills. I'm actually at even a more focus, more concentration, um, more liveliness, more study mind than with the pills. The pills actually, well, they don't reduce it. They reduce it by my abilities by a quarter. If I don't take the pills, my capabilities and abilities are 25% even higher, which is pretty insane. And right now my lesson is to understand and remember that this is something that these Dark Federation changed in the people in my reality. They program these people in my reality to create these resistances, to create these blocks, so I can overcome them. Remember, the Dark Federation does this, and this is something you should know. This is the reason why God says the Dark Federation and the Dark Forces, they, Divine Father says this is good because the Divine Force, the Dark Federation, and the Dark Forces, uh, they don't realize they're doing this, but they're doing it for the highest good and great. They're doing it for the absolute best possible outcome. Now I'm going to share something special. I told you a lot of information. I told you a lot of special information. Um, Alpha Lord is Silken Raw. Did I tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help me, Arcturian. Did I say so true happenings? It's unreal. She's saying yes. She's saying a hard yes. See, I'm telling you all true happenings. I'm telling you all the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me, Arcturian. Because well, like I tell you guys, some of you are in disbelief, but I actually lose a lot of power. I lose a lot of capabilities and abilities if I were to tell you a lie or to lead you astray. I lose the Dark Federation. Um, I don't know how they gain power by tricking people and by telling people lies. I'm not sure how the Dark Federation works, but I know the Dark Federation is not as powerful as us. And I know because I'm not part of the dark. I'm not Dark Federation, so I'm not sure how that all works. But I know for me being a extreme light worker, I know that if I take away from somebody, if I cause problems, if I cause trouble, if I hurt somebody, if I tell a lie, my actually my capabilities and abilities and my functions are reduced. Um, I'm actually I lose a lot. I lose a lot of capabilities and abilities and functions. I lose a lot of energy, and not only that, but I'm punished. Depending on what I do, I can be punished kind of a little bit. I can be punished severely, and it's just like us divine collectives say, that is the range, which is like the mental initiative. That is the way. That's our range. That's how we do things. So I hope this is insightful. I hope this is informative, and this assists you and helps you in your journey. Like I said, we only choose to empower you to tell you true happenings because this is how we gain power. This is how we become more powerful. This is because when you become empowered from our energy, from what we can share, what we can get from our power. When you're empowered by our power, we're more empowered. If that makes sense. And like I said, if I tell a lie, if I lead you astray, if I tell you a false information, I actually lose capabilities and abilities and functions, which is not a good thing. It could put me in jeopardy. It could put me in bad situation.